Coming up in the news this evening, 9-year-old raped and killed in Hanover. Sick out at the Jamaica Information Service as staff express frustration with the pace of the government's public sector wage negotiation. And robbers in Westmoreland make off with an ATM machine containing millions of dollars. And now the news in detail. A 9-year-old girl was raped and killed in Hanover yesterday. A suspect is now in custody in connection with her death. The deceased has been identified as Nikita Noeli of Q District in Lucy, Hanover. Nikita's body was discovered shortly after 6 p.m. in close proximity to her house on Wednesday. According to Nikita's 38-year-old mother, Nordia Edwards, Nikita was dropped off by a taxi. However, she did not make it home.
Well, I wake up in the morning and send my daughter to school. Certain time when she don't come home, I contact the driver. The driver saying drop her off. So I kind of feel funny. So I went and asked everybody on the road. They didn't see her, nobody see her. They're so right, and then I kind of find it very funny. She's not a person who stop her road or anything. Once the driver let her out, she comes straight home. So I went to the station. When they get some information, my mom gets some information, when they check it out, she really come up on the hill close to her yard. So they start search. When they search, they find her in the bush right over there. So they rape my daughter. I don't know. Everybody calling me say they hear that somebody in custody and they're looking for that person. I have no information.
No, but he's a close family member, that's what we heard.
I don't
family
know.
Friend. Oh.
Real hard. Now cope good. As Joanna, I deserve this. One daughter.
Only daughter.
One daughter. And then do her like that. I have to live in the bush. I'm very jovial. And the thing is, it happened right there, and I am right here. And Joanna is a person. Joanna very loud. And we not hear no hollering or nothing. Joanna loud.
And it occurred close to your house?
Close, just right around the corner.
Member of Parliament for Hanover Western, Tamika Davis, expressed an urgency to everyone to come together to change the now high crime rate within the once quiet parish.
I am here in the community of Q on a very sad occasion. Just last evening, a 9-year-old was brutally murdered. She's affectionately called Jojo or Joanna and was a student at the Esher Primary School. I'm here not only in my capacity as a member of Parliament, but also as a mother, also as a female living, working here in this parish. And it brings into sharp focus that we are noticing that there's increased violence against our women and girls, and it must stop. We must bring an end to this. As a parish, I remember not too long ago, Hanover was considered one of the safest parishes in the island of Jamaica. And look at us now. It is something that we have to, as a community, as a parish, we have to work together to ensure that we stamp out, nip from now, this demon that is rearing its ugly head in our usually quiet town.
Minister of Education and Youth Favor Williams has expressed deep sadness at the death of 9-year-old Nikita, a student of Esher Primary in Lucy, Hanover. Minister Williams stated that this brutal assault and murder of Nikita is a sad reflection of the callous barbarity that characterizes elements in our society. The education minister noted that every child should be protected by the society as a whole, and we must all be on guard to protect our children as they travel the nation's roads. The Ministry of Education and Youth has reached out through its regional office to offer counseling services to Nikita's immediate family and school community. Employees of the publicly funded Jamaica Information Service, the JIS, have engaged in industrial action. The slow negotiations being undertaken by the government in the public sector compensation review has angered the workers. President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, speaking on behalf of the employees, O'Neill Grant, revealed that there is a sick-out at the JIS, which reportedly began on Thursday morning. In a press release, Chief Executive Officer of the JIS, Anthros Campbell, stated that the total number of staff that called in sick is 35 out of 197 staff complement. Ms. Campbell highlighted that the action of the workers did not impact the core function of the agency. Ms. Campbell stated that the agency is working with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to resolve the employees' concerns. The Financial Investigation Division, the FID, is hosting a conference which is being held under the theme Widening the Use of the Proceeds of Crime Act through Collaboration. The United Kingdom is continuing its partnership with Jamaica to address the full range of issues relating to crime and violence through the Serious Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Program by supporting the development and strengthening of critical law enforcement agencies. Among those addressing the opening session of the conference was Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Mello Tv, who stated that under the Andrew-led, Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government, Jamaica is grappling with a high murder rate reflective of wartime.
I think it is also important to understand the link between the financial crimes and the wider crimes in the society. I know the Andrew Holness administration is grappling with the high murder rate reflective of wartime. And the data that we assess shows that what presents itself in chaos and disorder, murder, gang and gun running, all of those are actually part of organized crime. That is what the data is showing. That is what the intelligence is showing. But when you have to charge a crime, it requires much more than suspicion, because suspicion is not sufficient to found guilt. It requires much more than say-so. The law sets out burden of proof and standard of proof, and it requires time to convert intelligence to evidence to prove cases.
According to Minister Mello Tv, research has shown that Jamaica has been economically impoverished for a long time because we rely so much on international assistance.
Now, where we sit in government, there is a call for new laws all the time. But I've always said, have we taken stock of the laws that we have? Because generally, our problem is not that we need new laws, but that we need to use the laws that we have. Because Jamaica is usually first out of the block in passing laws. And the reason why we have been first, from my own research, is that we have been so economically impoverished for a long time. We have had to rely so much on international assistance, and invariably, a condition precedent to our benefiting from aid is the passing of certain laws.
For his part, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, in his address, stated that Jamaica is strengthening its capacity to fight anti-money laundering and the financing of terrorism framework.
Jamaica has been strengthening our anti-money laundering and countering of the financing of terrorism framework over the past several years. We would have received our second mutual evaluation in 2017 that found a number of deficiencies in our AML CFT framework. And we've been working feverishly since then with the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force and the Global Financial Action Task Force to address these. Over the course of this time, as we know, honest about everything, transparent about everything, Jamaica was actually grey-listed. And what does grey-listed mean? I mean, that's the colloquial term. It just means enhanced follow-up, where Jamaica is required to make a high-level political commitment that is public and internationally given, that we will be making certain concrete steps to improve our AML and CFT framework.
The Westmoreland police are now in search of a group of armed robbers who broke into the Jamaica service station in Darliston, Westmoreland on Thursday morning and stole the ATM machine, which is believed to contain millions of dollars. Reports are that shortly after 2 a.m., the men gained access to the building by cutting away the grill and then proceeded to dig the ATM from the floor, which contained the money, and sped from the location. The police say they are now in search of at least 12 heavily armed men who carried out the robbery. And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.